Hello everyone, I'm Simon from Games and Tables, and this is the second episode of our Spotlight series. And in this episode I will talk about the Mascots of the Alchemists Guild. There are two. I know it's very surprising that there are two, but we have one from Season 1 and a snake from Season 2. No new mascots in Season 3 as for most guilds. And those two mascots are as far apart from each other as it could be, I think. Almost different in every stat and playstyle. So let's start with Flask, the mascot from Season 1, which was a gift by the Engineers Guild to the Alchemist Guild, ensuring a longer lasting trading agreement, which then was, I think, cancelled. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was cancelled later on. But yeah, the gift was accepted and put to a very good use on the Guild Ball pitch. Flask has a melee zone of 1, a movement of 5-7, which is it's more of average, but I think it's quite fast for a mascot like this, you would expect. Attack of 2 is extremely low, but it's a good thing here. Kick is almost not existent, and defense of 3, but armor of 2 is pretty good to have him on the field for quite a while with 8 hit points. So for a mascot, he's quite tanky. His main purpose, I would say, is to charge once in a game with a Sikkim card, the plot card, and achieve as many intensifies in one attack as he can, because intensify is the only character play he has. He can either use it with 2 influence to just once deal 2 damage to every enemy model, every enemy model within 3 inch, which is suffering from a condition. And again, we are the Alchemist Guild, so we deal a lot of conditions to the enemy players. But it's extremely more powerful with a charge, because with a attack of 2 he also has a playbook of 2. So every third hit is a new start from the beginning, and since his intensify is momentous on the first result with a push, he wants to have any number of or every odd number in the range he can achieve. So with the first hit, which is fairly easy on the charge, he has 1 intensify. With 3 hits he has 2, 5 hits he has 3, and so on. So if you can prepare him with some players engaging the opponent, even have him knocked down, for example, with a catalyst, then Flask can really charge in and deal a lot of damage to 1 or more enemy players, depending on the positioning on the field. Last video I talked about Midas Touch, and said I'm not sure about its use. Here is one use. Maybe it needs a little bit of preparation, and Midas is not the captain I would prefer to play with Flask. But if he places a Midas Touch on the enemy, a burden token onto the enemy, it's +2 net hits. So it's again a guaranteed additional intensify with an inch push and another momentum. As for his traits, he has light-footed, he has overheat, so if he gets destroyed finally sometime, he deals another 3 damage and the burning condition to every other model, so even your own. In one of our league games, my opponent was able to delete Flask and with the AoE deal so much damage to Vitriol, who then dropped low enough to get taken out by a Stoker Flamejet. Kind of annoying, but that's how it works. But the last trait is the most important one, why I prefer to play him with Smoke. It's a Smoke Cloud. Once per activation, he can for free place a 3-inch AoE, which is giving cover to every models inside it, centering it on himself. So either before or after his movement, he can place his AoE centered on himself, and giving Smoke either a safe retreat point or a more offensive cloud jumper designation, without her spending the influence for it. So that's one free template for Smoke to jump in. It's another good benefit for Vitriol to accelerate her into the field or to prepare opponents for her hidden damage and skill within shadow abilities. And yes, ultimately, Smoke has all this condition play, dishing out conditions everywhere, left and right. So his Intensify is, pretty darn good with Smoke. And the Alchemist Guild is one of the few guilds who can use every single plot card currently in Season 3. And if I get Sikkim available in my 5 cards, I always drop it down, I take it. No matter which mascot I can use it. With Flask I love to use it, with Naja it depends a little bit on the placing, but Naja can do some fancy stuff too. So, going to Naja. Naja has a 2-inch melee, so doubling the melee zone of Flask. 6-8 movement, a little faster, tech 3, defense of 5 and no armor. So she's a more agile animal. She's a snake with less armor. Has a high attack, with that a higher playbook. A playbook size of 3. And the interesting parts in the playbook are the first and the third. Because they are momentous, you can use the second column with a non-momentous hypnosis. On the third you have a momentous hypnosis with a dodge. You have some damage, but I will regard it later. Hypnosis is a very nice character play, and the reason why I play her, especially with Midas. Besides her unpredictable movement and her 2-inch melee zone, she's a good ball keeper. But her hypnosis allows her to mess up the game plan of their opponent, because the first time target enemy model within 6 inches, has a range of 6, spends influence on an attack or character play this turn, the cost of the attack or character play is increased by 1 influence. So for example, you have an opponent Boar who wants to charge somewhere, make his Berserk attack, and then make another attack with his influence, and then a Berserk attack. You can deny his second attack with the influence. If the opponent has calculated more close to what he wants to do and gives a model just 2 influence for his Flame Blast AoE or for a charge maybe, Naja can say, hey, pay another influence. Oh, you don't have one, then yeah, too bad, you can't do anything good this turn. So the opponent has to take Naja into account when allocating influence, giving additional influence to players he want to really do something specific, and therefore having or lacking the influence on other models who may then have the option or had the option to do something. So Hypnosis is a really nice control piece, and within a Midas scoring team, her 2-inch melee, her unpredictable movement, her defense of 5 is really good to enable more play around the enemy team instead of against the enemy team. Her other character plays are more synergetic with Venom. Venomous Strike, so after she deals damage, the enemy model suffers a burning condition, a poison condition, and Assist Venom. So Assist gives her, if Venom also engages the opponent she's striking, +1 tech and +1 damage. So with only Venom assisting her, she has a tech of 5 and deals another damage. So it's then 2 non-momentous damage on the first and 3 non-momentous damage on the third column. Again, with a charge by Sikkim, for example, she could reach up to tech 9 with only Venom assisting, generating a wraparound and dealing some kind of several amounts of damage, but non-momentous. And I would have preferred if it was the other way around, if Venom had assist Naja, because Naja's playbook is okay. She can deal some damage, but I think in a when a scrum is generated and Venom is really stuck in, he needs assist Naja to deal damage against some kind of or some different players to get his own poison condition on them, and then activating his bleed with his heroic play. In this kind, so Naja has assist Venom. Venom has to activate early, get his armor up, get in there, stay there, and then Naja charges in, deals a lot of damage, and that's the turn. But Venom wants to activate later on with his heroic, so you hope that he will stand there for the next turn, can stay there, Naja dishes out some more damage maybe, and then at the end of the turn, of the following turn, Venom can activate, do something himself for example, and then activating his heroic to spread the bleed condition. It's a synergy, it's interesting, but it's not something I would think is very strong. Again, Venom, I said it in the last video, is my least favorite of the Alchemist guild. I don't really get it working. He's a nice tank, I think, because he has defense 4 and armor 2 most of the time, but he doesn't do so much himself, which is I barely field him and almost never consider him a part of my 10-man rooster, which is sad because I like the model a lot, I like the artwork, I like the fluff, but the background, but I don't get him to work. And Naja is good without him, regardless. Assist Venom is nice, but not important. Her most important role is with her hypnosis, 2-inch melee, so assisting other players, being safe with unpredictable movement, and threatening the opponent just with hypnosis. So you give her one influence, and the opponent has to recalculate all his actions to make sure he can do what he wants to do. That's it. That's about the Alchemist's mascot. So I like them both a lot. I prefer Flask with Smoke because of the template, because of the Intensify, because Smoke can play with the conditions far easier than Midas. And I prefer Naja with Midas because she can support the playing around the opponent instead of playing into the opponent. So taking the ball, going for the goal most of the time, hit and run tactics, being nimble, and Naja with her unpredictable movement 2-inch melee can be the same thing. With a defense of 5, almost immune to character plays, you could say. It's very hard to hit her with character plays, especially with single dice character plays. That's a really cool thing. Having her with Midas, Vitriol, Naja, mostly Harry, but you can think about Mist. Having 4 defense 5 miniatures or models, adding Crucible, adding Nimble on her to bring her up to defense 5. You can have a high defense team to just run across the field from taken from the different angles, disengaging, scoring goals from almost everywhere, and being a pain in the of your opponent. That's it. That's a short one because mascots don't have that much about them as captains, but they're interesting, they're good. I like both of them for different reasons, in different setups, but both are really, really good mascots, I think, overall. And I'm looking forward for my next big league match against Brewers Guild, where I might field Naja again, just because I played so much of Flask and Smoke in the last games. So, if you're one of our German watching community, the big league is currently still running in German and will be continued. I think I can get the next match up next or the following week, So in the next 2 weeks there should be another match report. It's still in German. Like I said, we will finish our currently big league finish it in German, and then we start making some English content, some English match reports, if the interest of you guys is there. So let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it, so then I can improve or change things. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. Hope you tune in next time when we go to the backbones of the Alchemist Guild, so the really play generating players in the background, setting up the core tactics of the team. See you next time.